Yo, good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome into another edition of Titans and Truth. I am your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we have a excellent show in tap for you this evening. Just waiting on some other people to come on in, and we're gonna get started because we have some very we have some breaking news that just came out. Could be good news, could be bad news. It depends on how it goes. Just waiting on some other people to join me. Just taking me just a moment. We're finna get started. All right. Sorry about that. We're gonna let everybody come on and filter in and everything. But glad y'all could join me here on Titans and Truth. And we have some breaking news that just came in, and it's probably been developing within the last 30 minutes to an hour. Word has come out, and this has been confirmed through A to Z Sports, and also through through Ian Rappaport as well. Rashard Matthews has apparently decided to ask for his release. Rashard Matthews is deciding to leave the Tennessee Titans. So, he wants out of Nashville because he's fallen down the depth chart and is not getting a lot of playing time. I mean, this is huge news. And I mean, I don't know what was going on with Rashard Matthews before. I know he came back from injury. He was coming back from injury, and he had the 1 year extension. Thought things were going pretty good here. He had to practice all off season or play in the preseason at all. He had a very, very slow start to the regular season, and we've seen some guys like Corey Davis. We've seen Taywan Taylor step up, and a lot of us are looking for Rashard Matthews to step up and become that go-to guy that he's always been. And now he just decides to up and quit. He wants out. So I could see where the Titans, maybe they try to trade him and see if anybody could trade him, get something of value for him. And then, if they can't, then they may just outright release him. But I mean, this is some crazy news, y'all. This is something that I don't think anybody saw coming. I mean, I know Rashard has been down the depth chart, but at the same time, Rashard, you haven't exactly produced much this season. I mean, you've been invisible all year. We haven't seen you in practice, and the only time we have seen you in practice at some of the live practices I've been to, you were on the sideline. You were trying to get back, you were trying to run. We didn't know what was going on with you, and now you're having to try to catch up with this offense, and you want to quit because you're not getting playing time. Dude, you've been gone all off season. This is a new offense. You should have been in your playbook learning it. Learn your playbook, learn your offense. Then when you get healthy, you come back and produce. But right now, it looks like Matthews wants out. And so, if Matthews wants out, hey, we know who our number one receiver is now. There's no question. It's Corey Davis. Corey Davis is going to have to take over and lead. And I don't know, this probably sends a very bad message to the other guys in the receiving room that, you know what, I give up because I'm not getting the ball. It makes it sound like Rashard is being a bit of a crybaby, if you ask me. He's basically saying, well, I'm not getting no time. I'm not getting the reps. So I want out. I'm like, okay, you want to quit? Go. We don't need you. Wide receivers can be replaced. obviously. They can be replaced. So, it's unfortunate that things are happening the way they have, but hey, Mike Vrabel has said it. If you produce, if you work hard in practice and produce, you get more playing time. You get more playing time, you get a chance to make more plays. And obviously, maybe there's some disconnect. Maybe Rashard hasn't made the plays in practice to where his number has been called in the game. And I've seen where his snaps have dropped significantly, where Taywan Taylor's has come up. And so now, we might be looking at another receiver at some point, either this season or in the draft, because you're going to need another guy to go opposite Corey Davis going in. So now that opens up another need. You got right now, as it is, you got Corey Davis, Taywan Taylor, Tajay Sharp. This might be great news for Tajay Sharp now because, Tajay in his first year as a rookie started, and then, he got hurt last year, and then this year he's trying to earn his way back. And, he's had some struggles, but this might be very good news for Tajay Sharp. So you got Davis, Taylor, Sharp, Nick Williams just got back on the team. And now with Rashard Matthews gone, there's about two spots. Oh, Darius Jennings, I forgot about that. So there's now an open spot. And, like with Delaney Walker, you had over 70 catches that have to be replaced. Now you get rid of Rashard Matthews. That's another 70. That's another 65. So you got about 135 receptions that are just out there waiting for somebody to grab them all up. And we were already talking that Delaney Walker being gone opens up Davis to probably get about 80 to 90 catches. If this offense opens up even more, Davis could go over 100 catches now because there's really not any other options besides Davis, Taylor, and Sharp. So the number of catches have went up tremendously. And so now Davis has a chance to truly break out. And he's kind of started on that road to doing that. And that means big things for Corey Davis. So this is huge breaking news. Confirmed by Ian Rappaport, also brought out by A to Z Sports, by guys Austin and Zach. I'm pretty sure they're going to talk about it on their show tomorrow morning. Rashard Matthews requesting his release from the Tennessee Titans. He says he is done with the Tennessee Titans. He says he's done. He wants out and wants to go elsewhere. So, hate it has to end this way, but Rashard, wish you luck on your future endeavors. We'll see you. Wouldn't want to be you. And so that's that on that. So some bad breaking news. Hate to see him go, but we got to go on with what we got. We trying to win some games here. If you don't want to be a part of that, don't let the door hit you where you know who split you. So that's that on that. So enough of the breaking news today, but let's get into this. Welcome into Titans of Truth. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer. You can definitely check me out. We do this every Wednesday night around between the hours of 8 and 9 o'clock. And you definitely can check me out on Instagram at Titans_in_truth. On Facebook under the fan page TNT Enforcers. On Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer. And then also the website, www.titansandtruth.wixsite.com and /Titans and Truth. And you can check out the website there and get some more information on the show as well. But again, I had to start off with that breaking news coming in. Rashard Matthews asking for his release from the Tennessee Titans. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be granted unless they do trade him out. They're probably going to try to trade him and see if they can get something for him. And then if they don't, they'll just outright release him. Kind of the same thing that happened with Josh Gordon. So we probably should be able to at least get, I would say, maybe a third or fourth round pick for Rashard Matthews because, he's been productive. So we'll see if we can get something for him. But let's move on from that since we're going to move on to quitters. We're going to talk about winners. And let's close the book on the Jacksonville Jaguar game right quick. Again, if you haven't listened to the post game, go back to the TNT Enforcers page on Facebook. You can see the post game, both parts. I had to do two parts because I had an issue, but I went ahead and did that. So you could go back to the TNT Enforcers page and check out the pre and post game show about the Jacksonville Jaguars. I gave the two-tone blue star of the week award to Marcus Mariota, with an honorable mention going to the defense as a whole, doing a great job against Blake Bortles. And also the Dunce of the Day award I gave to the interior of the offensive line, because they just let Calais Campbell take over. And honorable mention to Tajay Sharp because he dropped that pass and stuff like that going on. But he did have an end around for 16 yards, but he dropped a crucial third down pass that would have kept the drive going. So that's basically closing the book on the Jacksonville Jaguars. We beat them 9-6. Obviously, we didn't get no national respect because of that, because basically nobody talked about how the Jags lost the game. And some, like Stephen A. Smith, on his power ranking, which I know we don't care about that, but I'm just mentioning it, that he still has the Jacksonville Jaguars ranked number 3 of his top 5 teams, even though we beat them. Even though we beat them, he still got them ranked number 3. And he has the Eagles ranked number 4, right behind them. So, definitely, we're not getting no respect, and I guess the only way to get respect is to keep beating teams. That's the only way we're going to earn any respect, is to do that, and that's perfectly fine. I can really give 2 Fs if the national media respects us or not. You know why? Because while they're not respecting us, we're just going to keep trying to win games. And we got a big one coming up this Sunday as we welcome in the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles into Nissan Stadium. And so, this could be a statement game right here. And we're going to definitely talk a lot more about this game coming up. And before we do get into that, I want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor of Titans of Truth. And that is my homegirl, my cousin, LaCrystal Cleveland of Craft Gasbit Creations. Of course, if y'all have seen me talk about her ad nauseum, here's the shirt. Here's a search. I need to go ahead and get you one. Go ahead and hit her up on Facebook. Hit her up on an instant messenger, or you can hit her up at Instagram at craftgasmic_creations. And of course, y'all can see my information is on the back of the shirt. Y'all can definitely support Titans of Truth by getting these shirts. I believe these are she would do them for $20, maybe even $25 at that. You could do that. She'll get them shipped to you. May take a little time to get it to you, but go ahead. Definitely, you're supporting her. You're supporting Titans of Truth. So definitely hit her up and see about getting one of those Titans of Truth shirts. We got that. Also got, that's the T-shirt. This is the sweatshirt. Here's the sweatshirt made the exact same way. You can get this in any color, in any of the Titan colors. So, like for example, if you want the T-shirt, you want the T-shirt in baby blue, you can do that. Or if you want a sweatshirt in navy, you could do that too. I also have a hoodie as well that's gray. But if you want to get that in blue or in baby blue, that can be done too. You just got to talk to her, let her know that you want one, see if she can get you your size and everything with that. So definitely hit her up under LaCrystal Cleveland on Facebook, or at under Craft Gasmic Creations on Facebook or Instagram, and tell her that Chris of Titans of Truth sent you, and she'll be glad to hear from you. And so, and going forward with this, I know a lot of people have been commenting. I'm going to run through some of these comments right quick before we get into the Philadelphia Eagles. What's up, Shane? K. True, what's going on? Bread and Butter saying we should trade Rishard. There may have been an agreement already reached as far as his release. They may try to trade for him. Bread and Butter says his best play is behind him. Mama's Boy says this is good news, believe it or not. Shane says, deuces, Rashard. Mama's Boy talking about, with the not getting respect. Got to take respect. Shane saying, when we beat the Eagles, we'll gain all the respect. K-True said, defense pretty damn great. 4th in points allowed. 12th in total defense. 10th against the pass. Not even tripping about our run falling to 23rd, which I think that number is going to go up. So that number is going to go up as the year goes on. Shane, of course, is agreeing with K-True. The run defense is going to go up after this week. And let's see. Let's see, that's OG Bass Dippers Cold Rebel. That is a cool YouTube name. I will give you that. Tighten up. I like that. I like that a lot. Definitely. But this game is a big game. So yeah, if we want to earn respect, this is the game that we're going to have to do it in. You got the defending world champions coming in here. Of course, everybody's going to pick against us. There's going to be a lot of Eagle fans at Nissan Stadium. They're going to be doing Fly Eagle Fly or their EAGLES Eagles chant. We got to match that intensity, and we got to keep the home field on us. And so we win that game, send them out unhappy. So, that's something that we're definitely going to have to do with that. This is this could be a statement game. And this is a game that is going to show the world exactly who we are. And, it's a big game on a lot of levels. Of course, we got word coming out of practice. Marcus Mariota is looking to be the starting quarterback. Looks like he's going to start this game. And it also looks like Jack Conklin is returning as well to start on the right side. Both of them fully participated today in practice. Adoree Jackson fully participated as well. He still has to see an independent doctor. Looks like that could have happened today or tomorrow morning. So I think Adoree Jackson could get cleared from concussion protocol as early as tomorrow. I think if he practices good tomorrow, he'll be good to go. I don't see any issues with Adoree Jackson coming in. And this is some news coming in from practice today. Blaine Gabbert is still in concussion protocol. He did not practice today. Dennis Kelly did not practice, but word is from Mike Vrabel that things are getting better with him. Of course, Rashard Matthews was not practicing today, and obviously he's going to no longer be a part of the team. Kevin Pamphile was put on injured reserve. Apparently, he tore a tricep in the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. He still finished the game, but then they, really took a look at him, saw that he had a torn tricep. He had surgery today, is on IR. Hate to see that happen. Tough loss because he did very well in relief. Played left tackle for Taylor Wan against Miami, did a good job against Houston, and then also played right tackle against Jacksonville and did a very good job. So hated to see that happen for Kevin Pamphile, but I think he did good enough that maybe they bring him back on a 1-year deal next year after he heals and could come in and back up and, add more depth still. So hate to hear that happen. Titans signed a quarterback yesterday. Austin Davis was signed, formerly of the Seattle Seahawks as of last year. Appeared in 3 games for the Seahawks. Didn't really do much. He played for the Seahawks. He also played. He did not play ball in 2016. In 2016, he played, of course, with Cleveland and the Rams when they were in St. Louis. Started a career 10 games. Only had a record of 3-7. But he's coming in to back up Marcus. He's going to end up really being our 3rd quarterback. Looks like Blaine Gabbert's not going to be able to go this week. So Austin Davis is looking to back up Marcus Mariota in relief. Hopefully he does not ever have to come into the game. But got to have some insurance. Behind Marcus, and Austin Davis is going to be there. Just reading in a couple more comments. Big Eric, how's it going? Mama Boy said, bad look for Rashard. We are already looked at having a bad wide receiving core. So if he can't get playing time with us, he's definitely not going to get playing time elsewhere. That is true. Because, I mean, if you're not making it cut with this wide receiver core, what makes you think you're going to cut it in with anybody else? That is a very good point. That is a bad look. OG Badass saying, we're going to win Sunday. I just hope Corey Davis don't drop another easy pass. I hope not either. He needs to catch every ball that comes his way. And I think that's going to come with that. So I think Corey Davis is going to be our top guy. Definitely. So Mama Boy said, I expect our receivers to show up and show out. Show Rashard. He will not be missed. Hey, they better. And, if we do that, then, hey, we won't miss him as much. Brandon Butter says, props to Pamfield for being tough and staying in. And that is true. He did tough it out because I didn't even know he was hurt. I didn't know anything happened because he didn't come out of the game or anything. He played pretty much the whole game. And then we found out yesterday that he had a torn tricep and, had surgery. So definitely big props to Kevin Pamfield. Hopefully he has a very speedy recovery. And I do hope John Robinson does re-sign him maybe to a one-year deal next year because he did a lot of good while, in the limited time he was in there. But definitely had some good news with Marcus today. Coach Vrabel had his press conference, basically said Marcus is looking a lot better than he did before, threw the ball better with a lot of velocity and a little bit more distance. So Marcus is looking real good. And Marcus said he hopes to ditch the glove at some point and go back to not having the glove at all. And he's really looking good and is on track to start Sunday. And they're hoping not to have any limitations in the playbook as far as what Marcus can do. So they're looking like Marcus is full go and should not have any limitations. And this could be a very, very, very good sign for the Titans going forward. So I'm looking forward to see what Marcus could do with a full playbook and a full week of practice and everything. So I am really, really looking forward to that. And again, Adoree, practiced fully as well. Kamale Correa, he practiced in limited participation. Of course, he's coming back from a back injury. Ryan Suckup didn't practice. There was a little bit of knee tendonitis, but they don't think it's anything serious. So Ryan Suckup should be in there with the kicks and everything. So, I think this is a good sign for the Titans. We're getting some guys back. Offensive line looks like it's going to be back at full strength. Marcus looks like he's getting closer back to full strength as well. David Fluellen did not practice, so Dalen Dawkins will still be our third running back. And I think we're getting a lot of guys back and everything. So I like how we're getting back healthy at the right time. And this is a good game for everybody to be back healthy too, because on the Eagles front, of course, Wentz is back. Alshon Jeffrey was cleared for contact. He practiced fully as well. Darren Sproles did not practice today, but it would not surprise me to see him practice later this week. We'll definitely keep tabs on the injury front for the Eagles, but Alshon Jeffrey is back, so they're trying to get all their weapons back as well. So this is going to be a great test for it. The Eagles coming in at a record of 2-1. They defeated the Indianapolis Colts 20-16, and that was a game where, I looked at some of the game with the Eagles, looking at them. Carson Wentz, one thing we're going to have to do with him, we're going to have to make sure we keep him in the pocket and we cannot allow him to escape because he can tuck it and run. Kind of like what we had to do with Blake Bortles, and definitely better than what we had to do with Deshaun Watson. We got to keep Carson Wentz in the pocket, and we got to get after him. We got to attack him, and we got to sack him. And, he likes the dinks and dunks too. He loves to use his running backs, and they got a plethora of running backs at their disposal. Jay Ajayi did not practice today, but they're saying he may be coming back. So, they got Ajayi. You got Ajayi. You got Smallwood. You got Corey Clement. They had another kid play as well. I forgot his name. I think his name was Coles or something like that. I can't remember his name. He was another running back. They used at least 3 or 4 running backs in the game, and they all caught some passes out of the backfield and made an impact. So they like using their running backs out of the backfield. Corey Clement is pretty good. Spoils, we know what he could do as far as being shifty out of the backfield. Reminds me a lot of Dion Lewis, and of course he's back there in the return game as well. And Wendell Smallwood definitely ran with purpose and caused a lot of damage also. So we do have to be mindful of that. We know what Jay Ajayi could do, of course, but the many times we played them with the Miami Dolphins. He's a tough, hard-nosed runner and everything. So, starting with the Eagle offense, of course, definitely got to take care of Wentz. Alshon Jeffrey, we're probably going to have Butler matched up on him. Maybe see some time where Adoree is matched up on him, but I can see Adoree being matched up on his old teammate, Nelson Aguilar, as well. Nelson Aguilar is a speedy receiver and everything, so we definitely got to watch out for that. And if Alshon Jeffrey does play, he's going to be key. Of course, Jordan Matthews is going to be here as well. I doubt he makes much of an impact, but they still got some receivers out there, and they have definitely a good duo of tight ends with one of the better tight ends in the NFL, Zach Ertz, and also Dallas Goedert, the rookie out of South Dakota State. He caught his first NFL touchdown last week and had a very good game with 7 catches last week. So we really have to keep tuned with all the weapons that they have. They like to employ everybody, and they like to score points. And we definitely got to go after their offensive line. They got 2 bookend tackles with Lane Johnson and Jason Peters. They got Wisniewski playing at guard and also Kelsey at center. But I did see where the Indianapolis Colt front was getting some pressure. They sacked Carson Wentz about 5 times, so there's definitely a lot of pressure that can be employed. And I think our front 7 is better than the Colts front 7. So there is some opportunity for our front 7 to get after them. And I think the interior of the offensive line is where we need to attack. Shane coming in saying our front 7 is nasty. I don't see them having over 95 yards rushing combined. That's definitely possible with that. But one thing about these running backs is that they can catch passes out of the backfield. So we've got to employ our linebackers are going to have to be on their P's and Q's when going after these backs coming out of the backfield, going into the flat. Jayon Brown is going to be very important in this game. Rashaan Evans is going to be very important in this game. We have got to play disciplined football against this offense, because this offense will try to throw everything but the kitchen sink at us and try to use as many weapons as possible to try to keep us on our toes and keep us honest. But we do have to get after Carson Wentz. I do like our front 7's chances. I do think our front 7 can make an impact against Carson Wentz and definitely get him on the ground. We just cannot allow him to escape. So we definitely got to attack the interior of the defensive line and don't allow Carson Wentz any ways out. Alshon Jeffrey, we just got to frustrate him and do the best we can. Butler cannot get beat up top, even though Alshon Jeffrey is an excellent, excellent receiver. Adoree's got to take care of Nelson Aguilar. And at times, Adoree Jackson's going to be on Alshon Jeffrey too. So I like that matchup there. I think Logan Ryan could be a very good factor in the nickel against either Zach Ertz or Dallas Goedert. And, Kenny Vaccaro could be down in the box as well. I think this will be a good game for Kevin Byard to be on the side wherever Alshon Jeffrey is. He can help over top and can definitely help cause some turnovers. And that is something that the Eagles have done. They have turned over the ball a few times recently, so there is a chance for us to capitalize on that. Turnovers are going to be key. We need to cause some turnovers, and if we could do that, that could lead to some extra possessions for us, because there was a great stat that came out that that I heard on 102.5 on the morning drive. And that is that, comparing the Eagles to the Titans, the Eagles have ran an average of about 15 more plays than we do per game. And so we're going to have to control the tempo on our side of the ball. That way we keep their offense off the field, and that we don't, and our defense doesn't end up being on the field for long periods of time. We're going to have to play an A-game performance against this Eagle team, and we're just going to have to keep their defense on the field, keep their offense off the field, and we're going to have to run a lot of plays. So now we're switching over from the offensive side to the defensive side, and that, that defensive side, they have a terrific front seven, and they rotate a lot of guys too. So it's not just one or two guys you key in on. They have a lot of guys that can come after you. We're not just talking Derek Barnett, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Chris Long, some other guys, Michael Bennett is another. So you definitely got, I just named off 5 or 6 guys right there that can rush the passer with ease. And there are others I know I'm probably forgetting that can get after the passer as well. You got Nigel Bradham at linebacker, who's one of the better linebackers in the league. Jim Schwartz, he plays that attacking 4-3 defense, and he's just a guy that's just attack, attack, attack. He's not a guy that's just going to sit back. He's going to come right at you, and he's going to come at you hard. And that's something that we got to be ready for as an offensive line. And, of course, this is a good week to have our bookend tackles back. And I can see where Matt LaFleur probably is going to chip a guy inside to help Jack Conklin come back. But Jack Conklin, of course, if he's fully healthy, I have the utmost faith he'll be able to handle his business one-on-one. And everything. So we got to watch out for that. They got some good corners on the outside with Jalen Mills as well as Ronald Darby. And then you got Malcolm Jenkins at safety. So they have some very, very good players on the other side of the ball. And we got to be on our P's and Q's to do that. And we got to play a very good game, and Marcus talked about it earlier in his press conference, protecting the football. That is going to be extremely important. He's going to have to protect the ball in this game if we are to win, because if they're going to come after him hard, and, Marcus is going to have to be able to run the ball with his legs. If there's an alley for him to run and get out of there, he needs to get out of there. And, I believe Chris Sanders on 102.5 The Game on Jared and the GM brought this up and said Marcus is going to have to do some damage with his legs, but, the Eagles, they may put a spy out there to spy on Marcus just in case he does try to run, that somebody will be right there to stop him. But Marcus Mariota, his legs are going to be very important. And, if there's an alley, he's going to have to get out of there. And one thing that I think the Titans can do against the team, because the team likes to play zone. They like to play a lot of zone. They're not going to play a lot of man-to-man. There could be some seams and some creases, maybe some quick slants, some quick curls, maybe some in routes, and get the ball out quickly, get it into the hands of our playmakers, into Taywan Taylor's hand, into Corey Davis's hands, and they can make plays, make yardage after the catch. And that's where both of these guys are at their most dangerous, is when they have the ball in their hands after the catch. They can pick up extra yards and things like that. That's what Corey did with his 2 catches and everything. So that's going to be huge. There will be some holes within this zone, but Marcus has got to recognize it quickly and get the ball out quick before this aggressive defense gets to him. And he's going to have to get that ball out in less than 3 seconds, because if he has the ball in his hands after 3 seconds, that offensive line, if the offensive line doesn't hold off, then that's giving, Barnett and Graham and all those guys on the edge a chance to tee off on Marcus, and we don't want that. So, they're definitely going to focus on protecting Marcus Mariota at all costs. And, one of the matchups that I had, one of my key matchups is our offensive line against their front seven. Definitely Taylor Lewan. He's going to have his hands full with Derek Barnett, but I am definitely not worried about Taylor Lewan holding up. I think Derek Barnett, he's got his work cut out for him against Taylor Lewan, one of the best left tackles in the game. And, Jack Conklin, this is his first game, so he's going to have to deal with, Brandon Graham on the other side. So, we definitely got some work to do, but this could be a this is going to be a very telling test for our offensive line to see exactly where we are as a unit. And some other guys that I was looking at, Tim Jernigan, former Baltimore Raven, is another guy. Haloti Nada may get in at times as well. Josh Sweat, the rookie from Florida State. So they are deep. They are very deep in the front seven. And we're going to have to stop them all. And if we can do it where Marcus doesn't turn the ball over, and that's going to be key. Control the tempo of the game, score some points, no turnovers, and no sacks. And that's a good thing about our offensive line. Even with Pep Hill and Tyler Merritt's in the game, and I know we don't have Pepfield anymore. The Titans were second in the league in fewest sacks allowed. We've only allowed 4 sacks through 3 games, which is very good. There's a lot of teams that have allowed double-digit sacks, and so that's not us. And so, that number can continue to stay down. But we got to make sure that we have a game plan for this attacking defense. Running the ball is going to be very important. And they're definitely going to try to make Marcus Mariota throw the ball downfield. They're definitely going to try to force his hand and take away the running backs, take away the running game. But I think this is a game where the screen game could be very important. So dinking and dunking, maybe not no 2-3 yard dink and dunking, but I'm talking like 5 to 7 yard dink and dunk. And if you notice that the corners are off, run some quick in routes or some slant routes, and in that way, it keeps them honest. It keeps them up. And then when they come up to try to jam, you get past that, you could go downtown a little bit. So there are some opportunities for Marcus to do damage against this defense, but we got to be disciplined. We got to be smart. And as Marcus said earlier, protect the football. If you can protect the football and Marcus makes some plays, we got a chance in this game. We have a huge opportunity with that. So you got to protect the ball, as Shaolin Fantastic says, and we have the talent to do it. Shane says our O-line will show what they're made of. Mama Boy said after 3 seconds, Austin Davis might as well be prepared to go in. Shaolin Fantastic said first game with a full offensive line. That is very, very true also. So I'm definitely looking at that. I'm looking at the matchup of Wentz versus Mariota. Which quarterback makes the least amount of mistakes? That's going to be very key as well. So whichever quarterback makes the least amount of mistakes, that's the team that's going to win the game, in my honest opinion. And also Jeffrey versus Butler or Dory Jackson. I like our chances on the secondary front. We have a good secondary. This is a pretty good wide receiving core. Nelson Aguilar, he might could do a little damage, but I'm not really worried about him. But Alshon Jeffrey, I am thinking about, but I think we have the corners that can take care of him. So I'm not really worried about the receivers, but I am thinking about the running backs coming out of the backfield. They have caused some damage, and we got to keep with these tight ends. In the past, under old regimes, the tight end was our Achilles heel. But now I think we're in a better position defensively to defend the tight end. I haven't really heard of any tight ends doing any damage against us. Like with Miami, Gesicki didn't really do anything against us. With Houston, Griffin or Fedorowicz, I don't even know if Fedorowicz is with Houston, Texas anymore. They weren't really a factor. Against Jacksonville, Austin Safarian Jenkins wasn't a factor either. So we may be able to take Tyler Ertz, Zach Ertz, or Dallas Goedert away, and that's one less problem that we have to have. And so That's really what I'm looking for. That's what I'm really looking at on that. I will talk about more about the Eagles in the pregame this Sunday before I head down to Nissan Stadium. So definitely look out for that on Facebook Live. Join the TNT Enforcers page. That is only where you're going to hear the pre and post game show exclusively on Facebook Live on the TNT Enforcers page. So if you haven't joined that page or you're not on there, join that page. I'll accept you, and you'll be able to catch the pre and post game show this Sunday as I make my way to Nissan Stadium. And if you're following me on Instagram, I'm going to try to go live on Instagram and do a halftime recap of what I've seen so far. So, the pre and post game show on Facebook Live, and also the Instagram will have the halftime show. So definitely follow at Titans _in_ truth to catch the halftime recap. And Shaolin saying, isn't Jeffrey hurt? He's been cleared for contact. He's been cleared to practice. He did fully practice. His status is uncertain right now, so he may not go in this game, but I will prepare as if he is going to go. And before we do get out of here, we're going to do one of my favorite segments, and that is called Pick My Brain. Pick my brain. And this is where y'all can ask me questions about the Titans going forward. So if you're on YouTube watching, put me out some questions that I can that you want to ask, and I'll definitely try to answer them for you with that. So again, before we do get to pick my brain, breaking news came out about an hour ago from Ian Rappaport, confirmed by A to Z Sports. Rashard Matthews wants out of Tennessee. He wants to be done with the Titans. He's done. He wants to quit on us, and he wants out and play elsewhere. And, unless an agreement has been reached, they're probably going to try to trade him. If not, they're probably just going to outright release Rashard Matthews. And this has come out within the last hour and everything. So let's see. I'm trying to see if any deal has been reached, but he has asked for his release and everything. So let's see. Yeah. So it looks like, he just wants out. There's not been an agreement reached of it. He has not been officially released, but it looks all looks that way that he's going to be released from this team if they don't trade him first and get something for him. So that is the breaking news. But let's get into pick my brain. I got a few questions that some people put out to me on Facebook. Uh, I'm just answering somebody. There we go. All right. But let's see. Got some questions coming out here. Um, is it Dez time? From Bread and Butter. I don't know. I think if we get completely desperate, I could see that, but I highly doubt Dez Bryant is coming to the Titans. That might be possible, but I highly doubt it. Shaolin coming in says, do you think that Henry needs to step up in this game? Yes. I think he does need to step up in this game, and Deion Lewis as well. I saw some article that I'm going to have to go back and read, say the Titans could be a team that could rush over 100 yards against the Eagles. I think once again, you start with Deion Lewis, soften him up a bit, and then you come back with Derrick Henry in the second half, just like they did with Jacksonville. It took a while for Henry to get going, but then as that Jacksonville defense got tired, you noticed Derrick Henry's runs were starting to get better as the game went on. He ended up with 18 carries, 57 yards in that game, but they tired that defense out, and a lot of big gains were happening with Derrick Henry. So running the ball is going to be extremely, extremely important in this game. So definitely, I see where he could be a factor in this game. Let's see, give me just a moment. I saw some other. I know I had some other questions. Okay, here we go. Butchie had a couple of questions. He said, "What is our most improved position from the first game to now?" Most improved position, I would probably say, is our defensive line. Defensive line and our pass rush has been a major improvement. We've been able to get after the quarterback consistently. Jarrell Casey's playing out of his mind, already has 3 sacks in 3 games. Harold Landry's put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. He hasn't had a sack yet, but he's been impactful in the games so far for the Titans. So he's been huge as well. Derek Morgan has gotten some pressure. Orakpo had a very nice game as well against the Jaguars. So I would say our pass rush has been very much improved. Benny Logan, Austin Johnson made some plays and things like that. So I definitely like that. Wesley Woodyard is still being a lumberjack. He already leads the team in tackles, and it looks like he's not slowing down. He's an ageless wonder. So I definitely like that position. How are you feeling about Murray Gota? You think he's going to light the Eagles up? I think he has a chance to at least do more than he did against the Jags. He's definitely going to be able to throw the ball a little bit more. I don't know about light him up for like 300 yards or anything, but I'm going to put out a bold take. I think he throws for at least 220 yards, and I think he's going to hit up for a touchdown or 2. So I think Marcus could do some damage. Do you believe Harold Landry will get a sack this game? Do you believe their offensive line is too suspect to keep up with our front 7? Again, I think we should attack their interior of the offensive line. I think we could do some twists and stuff to confuse them. I think that's where Harold Landry could get some sacks up the middle, because they have some good bookend tackles on the outside with Jason Peters and Lane Johnson. So it's not going to be easy to get past those guys. Because their offensive line is pretty decent, but I think up the middle is where we're going to get most of the damage done. How do you feel about Adoree returning punts? Do you think he should stay back there, or should we put a less valuable player back there? I know this has been a subject because of the hit that Adoree took against Jacksonville. Me personally, Adoree Jackson is too dynamic to not have back there. This guy makes plays in a return game. I mean, I don't want to go back to the days of Mark Mariani. All he did was fair catch the ball, or Darius Raynar fumbling the ball. I mean, our special teams was horrible at one point, and now special teams has become a strength. So I think Adoree should stay back there until we maybe draft somebody that, may be less valuable in the 3rd or 4th round or something like that can replace. Yes, he's our starting corner. We don't need to lose him, but he's our most dynamic player as far as a returner. And I mean, now we're gonna have to have somebody just in case if they don't. Unless Adoree Jackson doesn't return punts, maybe you put a Dion Lewis is valuable too. So maybe you put a Taywan Taylor or Darius Jennings back there to return punts. I could see that. But right now, I would say you got to keep Adoree Jackson back there until you find somebody else that can return punts. That can take the pressure off. Maybe Cameron Batson. Maybe they bring him up from the practice squad. I can see that happening. He has some return capability. Rashard Matthews has not shown up this year at all. I agree with that. That's why I'm not really sad about him being released, because he hasn't really done anything, with that. So he hasn't done anything with the reps that he's been given. He hasn't made much of an impact. He dropped the pass against Jacksonville that could have kept the drive going. So that's what I think about Rashard Matthews. Butchie comes in saying, did you hear Eric Decker's and Callie Cowherd's comments about Mariota? If so, how do you feel about those comments? Yes, I did see those comments that Eric Decker was saying. He was on Fox Sports 1, and I'm trying to see if I could pull it up on Bleacher Report. Let's see. Give me just a second, y'all. I'm getting with you on that. I saw that. I saw those comments. Okay, here it is. This is from Teron Davenport, B writer for ESPN. He said, former top receiver Eric Decker on FS1 said Marcus Mariota is passive and questioned his verbal leadership. Verbal leadership. Um, that in a nutshell what Eric Decker says. And the first thought I had to that, I said, hmm. Eric Decker's a little salty. He a little mad, isn't he, that he ain't with the team no more? I mean, I just see him complaining when he was getting catches. I mean, he was like leading the receivers in catches and yards, and I didn't see him complaining when he caught that touchdown pass against Kansas City, although he dropped a bunch of passes against Jacksonville. So Eric Decker ain't with the team no more, and he couldn't even catch on with the Patriots. So I don't care what Eric Decker has to say. He just wants some publicity. That's all he wants. Him and Jesse Decker, they just want publicity for their show. So who cares what Eric Decker thinks? He ain't on this team anymore. And so I could give two flying Fs about what Eric Decker's got to say, honestly. Um, Derrick Henry is in his third year, and by him being a second-round pick, there's no fifth-year option. Do you think he's done enough to be extended, or will LaFleur talk to J-Rob about going a different route at the running back position? I don't know. This year is still yet to be determined with that. Derrick Henry does need to get some 100-yard games under his belt. I do know that. But not yet. Not yet. It's way too early to tell about that. Way too early about that. So we're definitely going to see how Derrick Henry does as the year goes on with that. But those look like those are all the questions I got. Anybody else have any other questions? Shout them out to me now because it might be getting time to wrap up the show and everything. So, before we definitely get out of here, definitely saw some of the linebackers went and visited St. Thomas Hospital and everything. I think I saw Sharif Finch and Rashawn Evans and Jayon Brown go visit the hospital. I think they were in the maternity ward because I think they were seeing one of the newborns that were born today or yesterday rather. So that was actually very cool to see and everything with that. And also, I'm putting out this call to the TNT enforcers out there and to the Titan Nation. Let's show up and show out for this game, y'all. This is a big game. There's a lot of Eagle fans coming in here. They're going to try to outnumber us. Let's get out there so we get this Titan up thing going. Tighten up. We need to be louder than the EAGLES Eagle chant. We need to outdo that in a major way. So if you got tickets to the game, show up. If you don't have tickets, get some and be at the game. This could be a big game for the Titans. If they win this game, this will be huge. We go to 3-1. So we have a very big opportunity. A few weeks ago, if you said we could have been 3-1 after these games, if we beat the Eagles, I would have said there's not really a lot of ways that could happen, but it's a possibility. 3-1 could definitely happen. And I figure this is a luxury game. At worst, we're 2-2 in good position with a very favorable slate of games coming up. So this is a tremendous opportunity. We don't lose any ground in the division if we lose, but this is a bonus game. But I definitely hope we definitely win this game. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. So tighten up. On your way to Nissan Stadium. Let's get that going, everybody. And if I didn't answer your question, I'll answer it offline, off the air, and everything. So if you didn't catch this, go back and watch it from the beginning. It'll be uploaded, probably be out in about the next 10 minutes. I thank y'all for tuning in to Titans of Truth. My name is Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer. Follow me on Facebook. TNT Enforcers, Instagram at Titans_N_Truth, at TNT Blue Enforcer on Twitter, and also the website as well, TitansOfTruth.wixsite.com/TitansOfTruth. I will holler at y'all. I will see y'all on Sunday at Nissan Stadium. Holler at me. I am out.